I wish I was apple, hanging on a what, Oscar? A tree. Good job, Myers. The children are our future, and we need to invest our time and effort in ensuring that they have a successful start.
That is so cool. What's your favorite color?
Blue. You want to have someone in your classroom that is highly educated. More learning happens before a child enters kindergarten in their first 2,000 days of life than at any other time in a life. All right, you ready for the next word?
Yeah.
Bread. Sled.
I want to help them in the preschool age to help with that social interactions, to help them be successful once they go to kindergarten.
I play with the kitty cat first.
Danny, what can you say? Oh, Danny, that's very nice.
One reason I decided to come back to school was to better my education to where I could make it better for my kids and my family at home.
I just felt like it was what I am meant to do.
So now it's just a simple times table problem. We just don't have 6 times 8 and then you add a 0 onto the end of it, right?
But I always thought the kids were where I needed to be at, and how could I make the biggest change other than mentoring, to me was teaching.
I feel like you can never have too much education.
Well, if you're going to teach education, you should have an education because you're teaching others what you've learned in the past, but you're also extending your education so you can learn more to teach more.
So it's a never-ending learning process.
Look, Simon, Kayla wrote her name with paint.
I cannot.
I know, those are great letters, Kayla. I think the early childhood program teaches you a new language. You learn the appropriate things to say.
My ultimate goal in education is to make a difference in the children's lives and the lives of their families.
I kept running into people and they kept saying, oh, Blue Ridge is great. You know, they've got a lot of courses that you need and it's cheaper and it's convenient and you can go there until you decide what you want to do.
Blue Ridge is an accredited program with NAEYC, which is the National Association for Education of Young Children.
NAEYC is the highest mark of quality for early childhood. They have to show that their curriculum, that their education standards, that their benchmarks meet a certain level of quality and meet certain NAEYC standards.
So I think it says a lot if you're a graduate from Blue Ridge Community College because you have graduated from a nationally accredited program.
Define family. What is family? In our education department, our philosophy for teaching is a holistic approach about the head, the heart, and the hand model. Where the head is the things that we know, the knowledge that we gain. The heart, you know, those are the values, the things that we feel, the things that we are passionate about. And then our hands, the things that we do.
Everything that we teach has intentionality. We teach what we teach for a reason. It's not just busy work.
What I loved about Blue Ridge's program was they took their classes serious. You were learning, but it was also very flexible. I could still be a mom. I could take classes in the evening or I could take them online and still have the time with my kids throughout the day.
I could commute here and they're smaller classes.
Technology has really enabled me to do homework and applications, transfer requests, scanning. I rarely have to step foot on campus unless I want to.
Color it some more. Here's a marker. This one.
Our students that are in our programs, they volunteer out in the community.
They're totally out there doing hands-on, interviewing, working with students, observing, doing lots of things that will help them to understand how to be the most effective teacher.
I did have to do a lot of volunteering.
I volunteered at several Head Start classrooms.
I'm actually working with kindergartners right now as my volunteer hours.
Good job. Thank you.
I've also volunteered at St. Gerard in the Grotto classroom.
I've volunteered at Hands-On Museum over in Hendersonville.
I think I went twice to the Hands-On Museum.
I know we have a great partnership with Blue Ridge and we're really appreciative of the students The instructors brought students through and they brainstormed how to make our center even better.
I just walked around helping clean up and watching the kids play or play with them.
What I like about the volunteer work in this program is really the connections and the networking that you do with the community.
They had a list of examples of things that you could do, and I chose to proctor an exam. So then I got to have a conversation with one of the teachers, and she says, "Oh, well, have you thought about substituting?" No, I never thought about substituting. So how can this class take me from just showing up to proctor exam to substituting, which is where I'm at now. So I started to substitute, which gave me a better idea of where I needed to be.
It was just last semester and I was doing my practicum, or what you would call student teaching, and the administrator and the teacher were suggesting and encouraging me to come apply here. So that's how I got my job, through my student teaching.
There are many volunteer opportunities in the program, and that's simply to get them out there to see how many programs are available that serve children and families.
Woo! That was, how fast do you think you were going? Were you going slow or fast? You were going fast.
We offer 3 degrees. The first degree is early childhood education. Then we have a school-age arts track and a school-age science track. In those 2 school-age degrees, they are specifically designed for those who want to go on to a 4-year school in elementary education. Whereas the early childhood degree is specifically designed for those who want to immediately get out into the field and work in a child care or preschool, or maybe be a teacher's assistant. But they can also, with the early childhood degree, go on to the 4-year school and major in a degree called birth to kindergarten. We also have 4 certificates. We have the early childhood preschool certificate, we have the infant toddler certificate, we have the school-age certificate, and the early childhood administration certificate.
Students that would like to come to our program, they simply need to fill out an application, apply to the college.
You can apply online to Blue Ridge, or you can also come here and apply in person. And then make an appointment with one of the early childhood school-age education faculty for us to help you and guide you in your registering for classes.
So we first sit down with them and see what they want to do, where they want to go. And then we advise them from there.
And we have choices. We can be in class, we can be online. They're flexible, they're compassionate and understanding, you know, if you're a mom, if you work full-time. So I feel like you get a lot of personal touches.
There has been times where I have wanted to just like maybe give up, because it was overwhelming I have a child, I have school, I have work, but those teachers were always very supportive, and as long as I kept going on with one course during a semester, I was able to get it accomplished and reach my goals.
So what I wasn't expected is for them to care, and that's what made it such a positive experience for me, is that my teachers, my instructors, professors actually have a genuine interest in what I am doing and my well-being and making sure that I'm on track.
Sunflower seeds. And that's a big thing, when you have teachers that actually care and want to see you succeed in your life, and they're there to help you throughout the way.
They're enthusiastic and they really want you to succeed. And I feel like their constructive feedback and their ways of teaching us with hands-on activities and group discussions and even individualized instruction has made the most impact on my success here at Blue Ridge.
I learned so much through them, and I feel like their program appreciates the early childhood professionals. We're not just babysitters.
Well, it's really important for the profession to be well educated, and early childhood professionals really do need that knowledge of child development.
And do you know that one?
Daniel.
Zay, yes.
The associate degree changed me as being a professional and as a teacher and a person. A better mom, better grandparent too.
I think by getting the education, I'm also showing my teachers here that it's possible, and I hope that I'm encouraging them to further their education, and the more education they get, the better ideas and the more quality care is brought to our program.
My dad, he only went to maybe 2nd grade when he was in Mexico. And he was like, I always wanted you to have an education, because that's something that nobody can take away from you. It's the best investment I can leave with you if you have an education.
Oh, here it comes. You're getting it. This industry is not for everyone, but for certain people you can see that it's a true love and it's a genuine, heartfelt experience.
Having education, no matter what hurdles you may have, it's important.
It just opened up a whole new world of things that I wouldn't have ever have thought like you could do. And just the more that I found out, the more that I learned, and I had those moments in the classroom, I was like, you can actually do this. This is how you can explain this.
I wouldn't be where I am now without Blue Ridge as a whole, and mostly Sheila and Brenda, because they really took invested interest in me and my education and my career. So I owe them a debt of gratitude.